First of all, thank you for joining today's webinar regarding the company layoff information. Chelsea already did a sound check. I know that some of you have just joined, so we'll do another one just to make sure. Can everyone hear okay? If you can, just go ahead and, chat it in the chat pod. Yes, you can, or raise your hand from the little guy at the top. Yep, okay, great. Okay, a few items before we get started. They're going to be a great resource for you to use later when you start really getting into creating your company-specific layoff pages. So go ahead and you'll want to click on each one of those documents, and once you click on a document, you'll see the Save to My Computer button will highlight, and then you'll just want to click on that, and it'll save to your desktop. So I'm going to give everybody a minute just to do that. Hope everybody's doing well this morning and has had their coffee. Okay. You'll be able to grab those documents throughout the webinar, so if you didn't get them all finished now, you'll have time. The other thing is I see people are already using the chat pod, and we really encourage that. So if you have any comments or questions as we're going through the webinar, please feel free to chat them. There will be time for questions and answers at the end of the presentation. Okay, the agenda for today, as you can see here on my screen, is I'm going to take you through a quick PowerPoint presentation of the Illinois WorkNet company layoff information. And then Chelsea, who is also with the Illinois WorkNet team, is going to take you through a live demo. And she's going to show you where all the company layoff information resides within WorkNet, how to access your page, and what the page is going to look like once you've set it up. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get going. This is Chelsea. She, like I said, is with the WorkNet team, and you can also see her on your webcam. And if you, like I said, feel free to use the chat pod with any questions or comments now. We will have a questions and answers portion once the presentation is over with. But if you think of anything after the webinar is over and you want to get some answers or have a comment, feel free to go ahead and email. Okay, the first two slides I am going to go over is just simply the process which will be taken once a company layoff has occurred. The first one that I'm going to be talking about, this is for events indicating a layoff of 25 or more workers. The DCEO regional coordinators and rapid response specialists will at that time determine if a company-specific page is necessary, if the page should be a state-level page or LWIB, LWIA, company-specific layoff page. The first thing that will happen if it is necessary, Chelsea will contact the DCEO regional coordinators and rapid response specialists and request to reply which layoffs are to be held by LWIA or LWIB, which layoffs should not have a page, or which layoffs should be coordinated as a that's when it's going to be determined, whether a page will be necessary or not. Okay, the second step in the process is the Illinois WorkNet team will communicate the instructions for setting up a company-specific layoff page with LWIB and LWIA staff. The page requests are to be completed in no more than 5 business days. The first thing, the state-level company-specific layoff pages, DCEO will ensure setup of all state-level company-specific layoff pages. An email will be sent to all impacted LWIBs, LWIAs, so they are aware they should not set up individual pages. Rather, this is going to be a coordinated effort, and DCEO staff will be handling the follow-up with LWIA staff. And the next one, the local company-specific layoff pages. Basically, the following bullet-pointed people will be copied on page request emails. So if a page is needed, and then finally, an expiration date. It will be 6 months from the last layoff date. So that's basically just saying the company-specific layoff page that was created for a specific company will expire after 6 months of that last layoff date. Okay. So again, this is just a quick PowerPoint. Chelsea is going to take you through the live demo of this. But to access your company-specific layoff page, you'll first need to log in to your Workforce Partner Pathway and then click on the Illinois WorkNet Content Management link that appears somewhere in the middle of the page. It'll have a page. Okay, and I have those circles you can see in the red. Okay, and then once you're on that content management homepage, you're just going to simply want to look down the list. Sorry, I had a little recording there. Chelsea will have already, if a page is necessary, she will already have created a page for you. So once you log into that content management homepage, you're just going to simply go down that list, find your company name, click on it, and begin filling in the necessary information. As you can see on this slide, this is the template, if you will, of what your company specific layoff page will look like. The top of the page will be pre-populated with information like your company title. The company page will be showing a laid-off worker video. You don't see that in the template, but that is there for your users. And it will have direct resource links to IDES, Illinois Job Link, the laid-off worker step guide, you're going to want to insert this information. You're going to be responsible for entering in scheduled workshop information, local resource center information, and any other important information that is specific to that company layoff. Okay, and like I said, this is just kind of a quick and dirty overview of the process, but please do download this PowerPoint because you can use it as a resource once you go in and have to create a layoff page. But Chelsea is now going to go ahead and take you into the live demo, and you can get a better look of how, how to get in and navigate around and what actually it's going to look like. So take it away, Chelsea.
Thank you, Kendra. Okay, I'm going to add a new screen up here. If you could let me know once you can see my screen, that would be great. Kendra, can you see the
I sure can.
Okay. More prominent and make it easier for the laid-off workers to find the information that they're looking for. So if you just go to illinoisworknet.com, you'll see the American Airlines, Hostess, Peabody, and then you can scroll over and you'll get the Illinois non-scheduled workers layoff assistance as well. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the American Airlines page once it loads. Okay, so as you can see, this is what the new updated company-specific layoff pages are going to look like. They have info bubbles on each page, and it opens with more information. Scheduled workshops, this is the specific information that gets added by the DCEO and Rapid Response Specialist or the local workforce areas, depending on how the page is set up. And then if we scroll down a little bit, I'll have to check that. I thought if you double-clicked, it would give you turn-by-turn directions. So I'm going to have to check with our tech team about that. But that's how it will work once they fix it. And then if I scroll back up, you'll see we now have some social media integration on the page here. So it says Illinois WorkNet on LinkedIn. This will connect the laid-off workers directly to Illinois WorkNet's LinkedIn group. So I'm going to go ahead and click Sign In with LinkedIn. And so they have to have a LinkedIn account to interact, and they can create one right here as well. So this is a good way for them to get in contact with the local workforce areas or to network and other things like that. Okay, so now that I have logged in, that is being posted right here on the page. So they don't have to leave the Illinois WorkNet website. It all is just pulled in. But if they want to, if they want more information or they want to go to LinkedIn, they can just click on the link and it's going to take them there. And it's already logged in, so they're already logged into their account as well. I'm just going to click back. And so as you can see, I came back and it's still logged into my LinkedIn. The way I talked to our tech team today, the way that it will stop showing their the LinkedIn group is they have to go into LinkedIn and log out. So we have this LinkedIn social media integration on another page as well, the Hostess page. So if I go over to that, once it loads, you'll see the Peabody Layoff page now, because instead of LinkedIn, we've actually integrated Facebook with this page. So instead of the LinkedIn API, you're going to see the Facebook one. We've created a specific Illinois WorkNet Peabody Layoff page. And so this box shows all the postings that have been posted on that page. So again, they don't have to leave the Illinois WorkNet website. They're getting all this information on this one page. And again, here's the Google map with their Illinois WorkNet Center location. And then we also did update the company-specific layoff page too with this neat slider to highlight some of the more bigger layoffs. And this can be updated as needed. And these can those pages. I'm going to go ahead and move over to the Workforce Partner pathway. And this is where you're going to log into Content Management to update company-specific layoff pages. So like Kendra said, the DCEO regional staff and rapid response specialists are going to be contacted on how we want to move forward with the layoff, whether it'll be a state layoff page, a local page, or no page at all. So once that's decided, the DCEO staff or the OEA staff will need to log in here to update the page with the specific information. So I've logged in. This is the Illinois WorkNet Workforce Partners pathway, as I'm sure you're all familiar with. And then once you have access to content management, new tab. And then this is what the content management page looks like. So you'll want to be focusing on the company-specific layoff information for this specific purpose. And if you just click on that, you're going to get a list of all the company-specific layoff pages. So what happens is I will get the notice, and then, like I said, we contact DCO and Rapid Response Specialists, and then once I know how a page is going to be created, I'll go in and create the page. So we have a laid off worker assistance template already created. So Kendra already showed this, but now you can see it. So this is what it looks like when you go in to edit it. I will create the template, and then you go in and update the specialized information that I've just highlighted, the workshops and the location, and then any other information you think might be important for the laid off worker to have. So they can show you real quick how that pops up. So on the laid off worker page, there's a link right at the top. It says click here to watch the Illinois workNet laid off worker videos. If you click on that, it pops open. And these are all so they can click on any of these ones they want to watch, and it just push play and it'll start for them. And then I'll also show you the step guide because I forgot to show you that earlier too. If you click on laid off worker, this is the Illinois workNet step guide. There is a link to this on the pages already, and it's just the steps, the recommended steps for laid off workers to take when they're trying to get back into employment. So if you click on the first step, it shows all the step icons, some recommendation steps with links, and then the video that you just saw. But it's not a playlist. It's just that one individual. You get the recommendations and the video at the bottom as well. I'm going to switch back over to the company-specific page on content management. So this is what the page will look like when they go to edit it. So they can click on Edit in the left-hand side, and then they go in and scroll down to where they need to enter their information, and all they do is just delete the text that's already there and enter the text that they want. And all this is already there, so they don't have to worry about adding any of that. And then they just click Save and Exit. And then depending on the role that the person has within content management, they'll either approve the page or request approval. So that all depends on the role the specific person has for who's editing the page. And then once it's approved, it'll go out to Illinois workNet the next. That's all I had to show you. Let me switch back over to the webinar, and if anyone has any questions, you can go ahead and stick them in this chat pod. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. One second. And yes, we are recording this webinar, so we can send the archived link out to everyone who is on the webinar, and then you can share it with anyone else you feel like you want to show or they need to see it. So I did forget to show you one thing, so I'm going to pull my screen back up real quick. I'm going to show you the actual Peabody Facebook page.
I forgot to mention too, real quick, Chelsea, while you're pulling this up, that the resource links to the Peabody homepage, the American Airline homepage, and the laid off worker company-specific toolkit. So you can click right on those. It's in a PDF, and it'll take you directly to those pages. I didn't hit that screen, but that's in that PowerPoint.
Thank you, Kendra. So this is the Peabody Facebook page that was created specific for this layoff. So if you scroll down, you'll see we have the image, the cover photo, and then all the posts that can be posted by the, obviously by the admins. So these are the posts that have been posted so far, just links helping the laid off workers go directly to information that might help them in the future. And right here, they can like it via this page as well. And this Facebook page does have a short URL, as you can see up here on the top. So that's very easy to send on to anyone you want to make aware that this Facebook page, all the laid off workers so they can come and get information, because Facebook is a very widely used social media tool, and a lot of people don't know that they can use it for helpful information like this. One other thing I wanted to show you that Kendra mentioned is the Laid Off Worker Toolkit. This is something within the Workforce Partner Pathway as well that anyone can access. You do not have to be logged in. It's under the Resources channel. So if you go to Illinois WorkNet and your Workforce Partners, so this first, it first opens to the first accordion, which is what we call them. They're just things that open and close and keep the page short. So the first one is automatically open to print materials that you can use with your layoff. It has the Laid Off Worker Assistance Planning Guide that Kendra mentioned, and other outreach and marketing materials that you can use, some more kind of instructions, TAA, rapid response. And then the second one is just resource links. So this first section is Illinois WorkNet links that you can use, and the second one is state and federal resources that are available to you when you're working with a layoff worker. And we also do have trade program forms as well underneath that if you need them. I'm going to come back to the webinar and see if there's anything else to make sure.
There's one that I'm not sure the answer to.
Okay.
The very last one is from Patrick. Will LWIAs be able to add content to pages set up by state rapid response folks?
That is something our content or technical team is working on right now. They're going to give state access to all the DCEO and rapid response specialists. All those people are going to have state level access so they can see all the pages. And the way that the local workforce areas see it is you have to make sure you choose their LWIAs. So if it's a layoff in LWIA 4, when you create the page, you can choose an LWIA and you'll choose LWIA 4. And that way the LWIA coordinator and manager can access that page. Does that answer your question, Patrick? Does that make sense? Okay, so we all don't want to talk at once, but if anyone has a question, I've turned on the phone line, so you can go ahead and talk.
Okay, I have two questions.
Okay.
The first one, this is Patrick. As an example, he'll set up a state event, but we could have multiple LWIAs involved in that, and that's where it starts to get a little tricky and difficult for us we can do the general information about the overall event, and we can put what other LWIAs may be involved, but it starts to get a little available for a particular event in, outside of their assigned LWIA. One that needs to put content onto that one site that's set up for by the rapid response state staff, that everyone has the ability to put content in there that's appropriate to their LWIA.
Okay. So are you referring to them actually updating the page, or where would it go on the page?
Well, for instance, the main event hostess, maybe Matt, I believe it's going to be Matt. I'm not for sure. But there's also a large facility in Peoria. So how are we going to make sure that, um, you know, that everyone gets their content into the hostess page?
Okay, so the way it works when a page is set up, I create the page like we discussed, and you choose which LWIA is affected by this layoff. So if you want a state layoff page created, that DCEO content or the DCEO contact or the rapid response specialist, when they respond, she'll let us know which LWIA it affects. So when I send an email and you say you want a state layoff page created, in that email you can say which LWIA is affected by this or which LWIAs you want at 14 and 25 are affected. I would choose those three LWIAs, and so those three coordinators and all the content management authors and editors from those LWIAs can see that page and edit that page.
Okay.
So it'll show up in their company-specific layoff page list of actual pages when you go into content management.
All right, that'll be great.
They don't see all of them, like they don't have the state level access like you will, but they will have the ones that are associated with their LWIA.
Okay. My other question is in trying to maximize the rapid response state staff's ability to monitor or all companies are in there. Is there any kind of reports that they can print off or generate out of this that will give them, what events are in there for their LWIA and what kind of content? Because, I mean, if it's just a name, then they can just go to the page and look at that. But I'm looking more for a report that would tell them, missing content or,
That doesn't sound like anything we have available. We don't really run reports off of content management. There's no automated reporting with that level of detail. They would actually have to go into that company-specific layoff page, review the content within it, and see what is missing.
Okay. Are you guys going to be monitoring these pages, and will you let us know then if there is content missing or there's blank information? Because it's hard for us. Do you see where I'm going with this? It's going to be hard for us if we see it that that a company is listed, but then
I'm just trying to think how it'll work. The Illinois WorkNet website is going to be going through an upgrade, which everyone already knows, and with that upgrade, we can make sure that the automated process is another thing that gets looked into, how it will work. But the process now is the page is created, content is put in, and then Illinois WorkNet doesn't monitor those pages. The people affected with the layoff, the rapid response specialists and the LWIA staff, whoever's created that page should maintain the information because they're the ones that know about the layoff events and workshops because we don't know about specific workshops with each layoff. That's something specific to each LWIA. So if they enter a workshop and they know that that workshop's on the page and it's passed, they should, basis just to look for problems like that. But like I said, it's not an automated thing right now. But something we could do, Jeannie just mentioned to me, is keep a list of events, and we can track and review pages on an ongoing basis to make sure that there's nothing wrong or that there are no issues on the pages.
Right, because I wouldn't, I don't want to imply that any rapid response staff will leave any pages blank.
Mhm.
There can be, you can get, maybe they could start to set up a page and they get called off for another
Mhm.
phone call or something and forget to go back, and then it's
Mhm.
sitting there blank. The same thing could happen at the LWIA level for their events as well, which we've
Mhm.
already seen has happened where, there's just a blank screen. So
Yeah.
that's what I would be most concerned about, and I know Treese has expressed concern about, blank pages like that.
Because there should never be a blank page because we create the template with information already on there. So there should never be a page that's empty. It should have the template information that gets added by workNet, and then it won't go out onto the live site until it's approved by that local workforce investment area or the rapid response specialist, and they would probably not approve it until they knew they were done with it. But I definitely understand where you're coming from. We don't want any information out there that's going to confuse anyone, or it's not complete, or like you said, a page breaks and it's blank.
Okay. Now we'll notify the LWE that will be on the template for the LWIAs that let them know that does this event affect more than 25 individuals? If so, the state should be setting this event up, because what we also saw was LWIAs setting up, the hostess events
Mhm.
on there that, uh,
Well,
that we ran into problems
mhm.
with that.
Yeah, this is a new process. The way it used to work, when the Warren report came in, I would receive it, and I would actually contact the LBA coordinators. And so now with this new system, the DCEO people and rapid response specialists say to contact them. So you will be contacted first. And then when you decide it's a state level page, the LWIAs need to be contacted saying that a state level page is being created. They should not create the individual page on their own, but they will be listed as an LWIA, so if they have events, they can add them as needed, or however you want to word that.
The problem is now we have a lot of LWIAs that already know how to set this stuff up on
Mhm.
their own.
Yeah.
And so without that safeguard, my concern is we're going to get
People, I haven't run into many of them creating their own. You want a page created. So when the new system ask our tech team about that.
on the template, or
Mhm.
when you guys are working with the LWIAs, just that question.
Since you're contacted first, if it's 25 or more people, they shouldn't be creating the page since it's going to be a state level page. Is that what you mean, or are you?
The hostess event, they didn't wait for us, or
Mhm.
they didn't work with us at all on that,
Mhm.
and good for them. They went in there and they set up their own hostess event,
Yeah,
which is proactive. But do you see how that can that I see that as
definitely.
possibly creating duplication? So they're not waiting
Mhm.
for you or us or anyone to contact them. Some of these OEAs are going to get more and more aggressive, which we want, and we want them to put the information on, but we just don't want to have to duplicate and then have them pull events. They've set it all up, and then they've got to pull it out, and we got to set it up as a state event, and you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, definitely. And something I can look into as a short-term resolution until the website is updated is I can see if our technique team can add something in bold at the top of the content management page saying, like you said, is this layoff affecting more than 25 workers? If so, I'm pretty sure they just started from a blank page. And so they didn't use our template. They just started with their own information. And we can't put information on a blank one that they just start.
Right.
But
right.
let me share my screen one last time and show you where we could have our tech team add this notice.
Okay, and this would be most appropriate for like staff turnover and things like that, because in general I would assume that all of our rapid response folks that work with their own local areas will be notifying them that you know, of these processes and procedures. So.
So on the company-specific layoff page here, this is what they see when they first come in. Obviously, they would only see the pages that are pertinent to their LWIA. We could add something at the top here in bold that catch their attention, saying if you have a layoff affecting 25 or more workers, please do not create a page and contact so-and-so.
Right. Or your state rapid response.
And then we can actually link. Probably we might be able to link to a map that we've been provided with the contacts on there.
Fantastic.
Okay, I will definitely talk to our staff, our technical team about getting this implemented right away. I'm just writing a note for myself here.
Thank you.
Does anyone else have any other questions that haven't been addressed? Okay, well, if not, I think we're just going to end the webinar. We've kind of gone over a lot of information. The map that we were just referring to is if you come up with a question later on that you didn't think of today.
How
webinar, the PowerPoint, the other documents are already out there, but we can have it all in one place. And then we can also
and file share in the lower left-hand corner?
Yes.
Got it. Okay. So I'll just download it there.
Yeah. And when we'll send out this archived webinar,
moving forward that these guys are going to you got
would go out to you guys, and then if you wanted a page, I would create it and then send another email going more notices we receive with email templates that we've used.
I know you guys are out there on your own, so I'm assuming got that
They might have had to go.
Mike Rotillo?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, great. Thank All right, great. Thank you.